to be like thumbnail James Brown.
Oh,
I was
there's
I was gonna I was gonna say to him about putting my YouTube channel, but it's
yeah,
completely not related, so it's a bit stupid.
yeah. I doubt
You'll
there'd be much crossover.
Well, no, there isn't. It's just pointless. Like anybody who was like, "Oh, cool, maybe I'll click on that. Maybe he does thumbnail videos." I don't know. And then they turn up and it's just like us playing games and then explosions, a gaming podcast.
Yeah,
Nothing is similar.
no mention of football or anything.
Yeah,
Actually,
I'm like pure white as well, man. Like there's no coloration to my skin. So this isn't going in the podcast, by the way.
yeah. I think we should edit this out.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, you've been playing Beyond Light. I've seen you streaming
I
over
have.
on your channel, but as a former big Destiny player, the first one, and then obviously I played through the main game of Destiny 2, but I haven't played Beyond Light, and I haven't played it properly in probably over a year.
Yeah, quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, what's it been like? I guess going back into Beyond Light, and I guess really probably the one of the biggest things to come out of November this year. Is that right? I mean, besides
Yeah,
next gen.
yeah. No, it's definitely one of the bigger things about this year. It's interesting actually because obviously any new Destiny stuff that launches um, at the tail end of a year, game big expansion, comes out in September, but they delayed Beyond Light November. So it's an interesting coincidence that it happens around the same time as the launch of the next consoles and a couple of other games. Maybe deliberate, who knows? But yeah, it's a big one. Um, in terms of how it is, there has been probably haven't seen it, but I mean, have you do you use Reddit?
I keep my ear to the ground a little bit, but I don't like surf. I don't surf the waves of Reddit.
Okay. Yeah. Basically the main Destiny subreddit is a really popular place. It's got like what in it now?
Is just kind of, I guess, to maybe give the listeners some clarity and obviously me some clarity.
Mm.
What's like a massive size Reddit? Like what for Reddit? Obviously, it's the main place. I would say for kind of nerdier stuff. Like
Yeah,
it's getting more mainstream, but it's a lot more kind of niched into
definitely.
the people who want to be in the know. That's where they are. So
Yes.
what's like a big Reddit? Is Destiny 2's 2 million? Is that like huge?
Uh, that's it's pretty big. I think some of the biggest subreddits that you're automatically entered have 11 million.
Hmm.
So a sub that you're gonna have to search out yourself is quite impressive. And then add that to the fact that several subs game is further split. Destiny the game, biggest one. Then there's Destiny 2. Then there's Raid Secrets. The really famous Destiny subreddit is basically about uh, glitches, bugs,
Hmm.
secrets, that kind of thing. Um, then there's Destiny Lore, Destiny Fashion, Low
Des-
Sodium Destiny.
wait. Destiny fashion. Please tell me they don't have like a fashion week inside of Destiny because every time I hear about fashion week, I'm just like, really? You have a whole week for clothing?
They
Like,
do have a fashion week,
oh,
actually. Give out
oh,
they give out emblems to the people
oh,
who have the best outfits.
okay. That makes it a lot better. I mean, obviously, fashion week I've just seen in like TV and series where it's just like, I don't know. The stereotypical Fashion Week people doing, like,
Yeah.
the runway stuff. I was just like, "Please don't recreate that in Destiny 2, man." Like, I understand the tower's a beautiful place. I know there's loads of cool places you can be, and there's definitely some great customization, but don't turn it into that kinda thing. But now you say emblems, and I'm like, "You know what? I might give it a try." I might awaken my inner fashionista, if that's even a word. And, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fun, like, it's a cool thing. People, post their outfits around. So yeah, it's a big community. But problems with the main subreddit game is possibly the saltiest based Reddit, really. Um,
I dunno. I dunno. I there's You'll know the YouTuber KSI, and,
yeah.
he has his own sort of second channel, which is obviously, like, more his personal channel, and, he does, like, weekly he'll do, like, a Reddit, like, a watch through his Reddit, and he'll basically go through and, like, comment on the best post of the week and, like, basically check out everything, and every single post is his whole Reddit, every Reddit member just roasting KSI is basically cyberbullying. Like, he laughs it off like a champ, and it is a really entertaining video, but it's just like you're saying it's salty, but this is a Reddit that's dedicated to this guy and his channel, and they just bully him. Like, it's hilarious stuff. Um, but yeah, man. Yeah, I can imagine the salt.
Oh, I don't know. I've honestly, I left the subreddit despite the fact that it's, the first place where you're going to get information, probably one of the first places where you find out about and hear from other people. I had to leave because it was genuinely changing my game. So if you go on there and you look at it now, basically complaining about things left, right, and center. But that's how it is. Most anything that is like extreme. So it's either oh, this is shit, and this is a terrible thing, and it could have been done better, and you're up on the front. Is it you complain about something? Um, and I'd say there's a few things that they have the right to
What what's it called? I'm on Reddit now.
Destiny the game.
Oh, geez, 1.8 million.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to change my. I've got the weirdest. What is this? Let me just have a look. What is my username right now? My username on Reddit. Important cicada 1735. Why is it that?
I have probably a main red. Sounds like a
Yeah,
throwaway.
no, it is. I think it's just one that it just gave me. Don't know why, but yeah,
Yeah.
let's have.
Um, yeah, I think the expansion is fantastic. It's been a very been a roundabout way of me saying a lot of people are having difficulty with the expansion, but I think it's fantastic. Um, I think the difference is basically, did you play when Forsaken came out? Like, was that
Yes,
yeah? So
I have everything except for Beyond Light.
okay, yeah, okay. Um, because Forsaken is essentially pinnacle of Destiny content. In my opinion, it's the greatest expansion they've ever given us, and it also gave us in content drop probably the largest amount of content the game has ever seen at one time.
Yeah,
Um, but at that time, things were really different. Bungie was still partnered with Activision, and they had a separate game studio who was a contract with Activision, helping them produce additional gear, the two DLCs that followed Forsaken. So essentially, they have the manpower of Activision separate game studio system that allows them to create. Um, I mean, to be honest, twice as much content as any other expansion.
Yeah.
Um, and as a result, the kind of reality is they can't churn out the same stuff that they have done in the past, and they've switched it up to not kind of dumping everything on you in the first day. And the reality is that
Oh, so
you
they're,
have
like,
to,
kind of stretching it out, so they have, like, so much content they have developed,
yeah,
and then instead of just being like, "Okay, this is we're gonna give you all your Christmas presents on one day," instead of stretching it out over the next 6 months?
yeah,
Okay, cool.
exactly,
I've
exactly.
also think I just stumbled across a way to make Christmas better. Just give me a couple gifts for the next 6 months. I'll be happy. Don't just cram it all into one day, so the next 6 months are just filled with depression and regret.
It's funny.
I have
um,
these random thoughts, man. But yeah, I mean, I'm
yeah,
still kind of hesitant to hop on the Beyond Light train. Like, I really do trust Bungie. Like, out of everything, I'm really happy that they have full control again,
yeah,
and I really think they can do something with it. I mean, I was when the first Destiny came out, I was pretty happy with the original kind of story, and I really wanted them to build on that. I feel like Beyond Light is actually because it includes the mysterious
Exo
hunter.
Stranger.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is she a hunter? I get the vibe that
Uh,
she's a hunter, or maybe
technically,
just all of them.
technically, but not really. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but you can't really. Running a
Yeah, okay,
hunter
okay,
isn't
okay.
technically.
I'm sorry. I di I didn't want a stereotypical,
Yeah,
didn't wanna
come on, dude. We don't do that
yeah, I'm not all about that classism.
here. But me personally, um, okay, I'll do the top five good things, top five bad things.
That would be
Um,
great.
top five good things. Number one, story and the location is absolutely incredible. Um, that can be two things. The story is fucking awesome. Campaign really long, actually, but like a good way. Um, story has it has impact. It doesn't drive you around same place 20 times like previous campaigns have done
Mm,
in order to get something. Every single story mission takes you through an area and then opens up into an area that you haven't. In fact, a lot of the areas in the campaign feel like they only get used once and could be used a lot more, actually. Um, so the story is awesome, and the locations kind of builds into the same thing. So the new map obviously is Europa, and
yeah,
it feels awesome. It has this really cool thing in this ambient weather, and every so often there's literally like a snowstorm. It's really cool when you're riding
really?
it. Yeah, when you're riding your sparrow around, it literally blows your sparrow in a direction.
Oh, wow.
So
I mean,
you kind of have to get off your sparrow and walk around, but you have way less vision.
that's pretty interesting. Is there quite a noticeable change in the game between the new area and I guess the older area? Because all I'm thinking is obviously if they've added like weather conditions that actually affect the sparrow, it's unlikely, if not there at all in the other areas of the game. But obviously it's something that's possible on the current generation. So I'm wondering if they're gonna sort of go back and change that, maybe add in some weather to other areas to kind of make it more atmospheric in those particular environments.
I don't think they'd do that. I think it really fits Europa because of the icy Hoth theme.
Mm,
I think that devoting that kind of to old planets isn't isn't necessarily worth it for them right now.
yeah, I
Um,
get that.
yeah, like it could be done and it might be neat, but right now, as I'll touch on in the bad things, I don't think it's what they should be focusing on. Um, but regardless, Europa is huge. It's probably one of the biggest locations in the game. Nessus is probably the only other place that it actually is big, but even then, Europa feels absolutely massive. It's got Vex section, it's got a Fallen section, and then it has the Clovis Bray section. So I don't know, it almost feels like three maps at times. Two or three rather, Stasis. I don't know. If do you know what Stasis is?
Not really. I know it's a word, but besides that, I'm a bit lost.
The Stasis is the new class and the new element. Basically, there's a fourth element in the game now. And it's weird even having weapons that have stasis icons to them. Um, but yeah, everyone
Okay, yeah. So like solar, arc, void.
and stasis now.
Okay, cool.
Um, everyone has a subclass. It's a darkness subclass. It's not like light subclass. That's part of the whole story thing. It's very cool. But they feel amazing. They feel really amazing to play. Um, as per usual, Bungie's gameplay is just it's so it's leagues above anything else in any other game, and it's play Destiny so much. Um, 4, the new exotics are cool. They're not mind-bendingly good. I'm not a fan of this, but the new are really cool. 5, the new raid is 1 hidden, 2 growing to be incredible. There are
So they haven't. It's not like active.
no, I think it comes out on the next reset 24. So they've given people 2 weeks to get ready for the raid. Once it comes out, it takes place in the Clovis Bray section, Deepstone Crypt, and I mean, from what I've heard, the encounters are absolutely out of this. But the armor that's included in the raid is probably my favorite set ever. Destiny is absolutely, and the weapons similar. I'm really looking at the raid. Probably the worst thing, probably the only thing I'm going to say on the bad stuff is that a lot of gear got sunset, and basically what that means is that a lot of gear is
It's like
now
left behind.
exactly. You used to play Destiny,
Used to.
but yeah, a lot of it got left behind,
Like
and
the Galahorn from that was originally Destiny 1, right? Like it was the
yeah, it was the
and then
most of it,
they brought they brought it back.
most of
Um
mine,
and then it's just gone.
and then it's just gone.
Yeah.
Um, but the probably the most disappointing that in this expansion there are technically only 8, 6 actually, 6 new sets of armor that you are able to acquire, and I mean that's not a lot of gear, base, and the weapons are we're talking maybe 25 weapons that are there.
Mm.
With the raid weapons, it's probably 30. The rolls you can get on the weapon, cool. And of course, like if you've been playing the game already, then you still usable. But so much of it has been declared useless now that it kind of feels like they took away a lot of stuff before they were ready to give us new
Mm.
stuff to play with. That's essentially the only concern that I have. But other than that, I'm really interested.
Yeah, I mean that's the main thing really is all about the gameplay. And I guess something that's
Yeah.
always put things like Halo, you know, the thing that kind of defines an FPS game is the actual feeling you have from shooting and movement. You know, the speed in which it happens, recoil, aiming, even I guess the speed of aiming down the sights and everything in between is such a big thing when it comes to I guess, satisfaction of the gamers. I mean, I've played some games that have been okay with, gun physics and I guess character physics as well, but it's really stuff that really pull me out is like Call of Duty Zombies. I used to play that so much when I was younger, and because the gun physics and the actual action of your character are just so well done, it really makes the rest of the game stand out. Even though basically every single zombie that you fight is exactly the same. They have like maybe 4 or 5 different animations. That's it. But you don't really notice it. You don't criticize the game for that because the actual gameplay is so damn fun. You don't really care about the aesthetic of a particular
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, I still don't know if I'm gonna hop on the Beyond Light train. I feel like I have a way to go. I'm only at what is it, 950-ish power.
You'll be bumped up. Everything is
Ooh,
base 150, 1050.
nice. I should have just waited for a few months before, trying to get there before Beyond Light. I should have just waited and been like, yeah, I'm here. Um, but yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, big fan of Destiny, but I guess something about Destiny's always kind of stood out in terms of what the game kind of is. And I guess obviously when I first started off with Destiny, it was kind of more about the story. My brother really went into the multiplayer, but I guess the big thing for me is obviously everyone's really focusing on multiplayer. I don't know many incredible stories that have kind of come out of gaming recently compared to like previous years. Obviously, there's exceptions. Like I played The Last of Us Part Two not too long ago. That was an incredible story. The game as well, and I guess the whole creation of cutscenes and how everything develops. I don't know if you've played The Last of Us Two.
I have not. I have actually never played the first one either.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't play much of the first one because I didn't have a PlayStation when that first came out. Then I migrated from the Xbox One to PlayStation 4, and obviously I saw Last of Us 2 come out, and I'd already seen, YouTubers play through all of The Last of Us. So I'd seen the story. I hadn't played it. But then in The Last of Us 2, they have a really cool thing where obviously they have two kind of main characters, or I guess kind of three or more, obviously. But in terms of like playable characters, you switch between different people, and you even switch to kind of from like protagonists to what you would call the antagonists. And it's really interesting the way that they kind of get you to feel and fall in love with the protagonists, and
Mm,
then they start to, you know, give you more story time with who you would class as the antagonist in the story. Um, and then you kind of grow and understand and kind of grow to love that person too. And by the end, it's just you're completely in bits. Like you have no idea like who you really want to win because everyone has their own kind of justification for what they're doing. It's a phenomenal way of telling a story. And yeah, like I haven't felt that way about a game in a long time. And yeah, I mean, for me at the minute, I've just seen maybe I'm in the dark about some games that have true stories and maybe are
yeah,
built like film. But I'm seeing stuff like Fall Guys come out. Obviously, Rocket League is, I guess, getting bigger because of the esports they have going on at the minute. They're actually having like European regional championships, which is really cool. Um, then obviously you've got everything like Call of Duty, which is basically people will play the story for a bit, then they just hop on multiplayer
yeah.
and go like prestige, prestige, prestige. Destiny, you have that mix of multiplayer and the story. But obviously, the thing with story is you play it for a bit and then it's gone and you move to multiplayer. And obviously, there's way more playtime in multiplayer than there is in story.
Yeah, I also, I'm also basically aware of the entire story of, uh, some of The Last of Us 1 and The Last of Us 2. I was so fascinated by the kind of, um, massive overreaction of people. story, but I had to read it and find out what they're angry about. And it's just one of those things where people are angry that their character was killed, and instead of understanding with them getting angry about it because of good writing, they just
Yeah,
lash out at people. Character meant to make you care, like make you angry about.
yeah,
Not it's not like oh, like if I'm honest, having both of them survived second would have felt like such a cop out. Um,
yeah. I feel like it. I mean, the game is called The Last of Us.
yeah.
Like, if it's like The Last of Us, oh, but there's 7 billion of us here. Like, it's not really, it's not really the same.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Um, but no, I agree. It's actually a really interesting point because Destiny's story to me has always been really, really, and they've
Mm,
done such a such an incredible job, I think. Shout out to the narrative guys are absolutely incredible of continuing to tell the story and simultaneously creating new threads for us to get invested in while continuing to wrap up loose ends from 6 years ago. Like the Exo Stranger, right? She was in First Destiny. She's literally in
mm,
Vanilla
yeah.
Destiny campaign. She's one of the main characters, really. Mysterious, character you basically know. And yeah, her identity was actually revealed to us in I'm pretty sure it was in Seiken or Kaneki, but maybe 2 years ago, her identity not as in,
Yeah.
it was explicitly said she is this person, but it was hinted at and put the clues together that she was a specific person. She's the sister of another person who is, a character in the Destiny 2 universe. Except,
Okay.
things are slightly different. It's not. I don't know. I don't want to say too much.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I mean, keep it close to your chest. Obviously,
yeah,
with Destiny 2, people are still catching up. Obviously, I'm just reading an article on Reddit. I'm saying an article. Essentially, it's just a post. So I looked into the average playtime of something like The Last of Us 2,
yeah.
which came up as about 25 hours. And I've just Googled like average Destiny 2 playtime.
So
Somebody put on Reddit, so far I've got 505 hours into Destiny 2 and about 30 hours ish in Forsaken.
yeah, it's just like I love the story in Destiny. Like the voice actors do an incredible job. The narrative team do an amazing job writing cards and campaigns. Like even though it's not as it doesn't have the emotional gut punch of something like The Last of Us 2, because they managed to create a overarching story, so many different narrative threads, and to keep that going and keep creating different threats and challenges over the years. I mean, it's an endless source of entertainment. And I don't know, back when the first Destiny came out, people are always like, it's just not worth your money. And
Mm,
I mean, I got it literally the day of launch. I've never been excited for the game,
yeah.
and I hardcore played. I played a lot, and I didn't really play anything else for a while. And I got to 100 hours or something, and I was thinking about it. I was like, what other game have I actually played this much? The last game
Mm,
that I've played so much is Skyrim. Now I've played Skyrim a lot. I've played it so many times. I've modded the out of it, played it again, and modded it again, and played it again. And I only have about 350 hours on the copy I'm currently on.
only.
Yeah, exactly. I say only. an insane amount of playtime. But on Destiny, like in Destiny alone, I managed to
2 weeks.
rack up about 4,500 hours. And
Well, just on your Skyrim, what was it? Skyrim 350 hours?
yeah,
That's only 14 and a half days straight.
fucking.
So it's a solid 2 weeks. And
So
what did you say? 4,500?
I was, that's just on the 187 days. Like
Do you
the
kn do you know
a
do you know what's pretty funny? That is, like, exactly half a year.
yeah, it is.
100% half a year.
Shit. I mean, like, yes, and it's just to me when people look at Destiny and they go like, "Oh my god, game's so shit," like, "Oh, it's dying, or nothing to do, and it's so bad." Look at it and they go, I've played literally non-stop for half a year off one game. Cannot tell me that is not worth it." It's like I've
Yeah.
probably spent maybe at this point about 300 quid, the expansion, get the collect, not collector's special edition,
Yeah, yeah,
get
make
every
sure you're getting all the good stuff.
yeah, exactly. And to me, that's worth it. I've probably got at this point around another 2,500 hours Destiny 2. Um, and it's like that's almost a literal year of playtime.
Yeah.
And I
No,
don't know,
absolutely.
that's value. That's big value.
Well, yeah, I think obviously things like Destiny, some people won't enjoy it, some
Mm,
people will love it. Every game has that audience. I think we were talking about it last week in terms of the niches and kind of what people prefer in genre and kind of gameplay. I mean, I'm just trying to hop on to Rocket League because I've been playing that a fair amount. I was interested to see because every game, every match is 5 minutes. I maybe play one match a night or like 10 matches a night. I will put a bit of time into it, and obviously I customize my car and things like that. Now that's like a free to play game. It's just super repetitive. Basically, it's just multiplayer. Obviously, there's no story.
yeah.
Um, it's very simple, but it's a game that I'm enjoying at the moment, and I think it's very easy to. I mean, obviously, something like Rocket League is free, but when you have money involved and the game is way more expansive and constantly growing, changing, being balanced, things being nerfed, things being, buffed, and then obviously everything in between. Like, I mean, Destiny has the seasons as well, right? So you have, you can kind of get like a season pass. And when you kind of rank that up, you get different gear. If
Yeah.
you obviously have the free version, you don't pay for it. Obviously, you have like one every few levels, you get a gift, you'll get a thing. Um, but then if you pay for it, then you kind of level up. And I guess it's similar for a lot of games now that they have that kind of season thing to kind of keep people playing their game. But yeah, it's a difficult one to kind of say if a game's worth it or not. It's all subjective and kind of personal opinion in that sense. As a kid, I definitely preferred story games. At the minute, it's sort of what can I get my teeth into? What do I enjoy? And also, what can I kind of, I not necessarily get better at, but there's definitely a satisfaction to, at the minute, playing Rocket League, hitting an aerial shot and scoring
Yeah.
is great. Like I love that because I remember when I was just driving around the ground, and I would just not hit the ball on the ground, and now I'm hitting it in the air. And yeah, my time played at the minute, time played in a match, by the way, during a match is 23 hours, 41 minutes, and 13 seconds. That's 287 matches.
Okay.
So that's not that long, but I've still really enjoyed the time on the game. It's completely free, and
I mean, I don't know, dude. I think we're spoiled by the current generation.
mm,
The endless replayability of live games. Like, That's a lot of playtime. That is a lot of playtime, and we used to buy games where you would get, maybe 8 to 10 hours, 12 hours in campaign, never play it again, and we'd be like, "That's cool, that's great." We used to fork out 40 quid, 10 hours of gameplay
Yeah,
on a single campaign. That's the only thing you could do, and we used to be like, "That was great."
yeah.
And now we're in this era where, you get 60 or 80 or even 100 hours. I don't know if that's worth it. Personally, that seems crazy to me.
Well, yeah, I think I mean, people always compare, like, I think I might have even said it last week about Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, and how it was the first game I ever bought, and it was 30 quid, and that's £30 for any non-UK English listeners. Um, but yeah, I think when that game came out, £30 sounded like a lot of money for a game, but now we're talking every single game, FIFA, whatever it is gonna be £50. Pretty much guaranteed, and that's for the standard edition. If you want anything that's like ultimate edition or deluxe edition, that's like 60, £70. Collectors, you're looking at £80 plus, but you're getting way much more, like, game time out of it. You're getting kind of entertainment value, and I think one thing we can kinda compare it to is like a movie, right? So, w we'll use your extreme 4,500 hours. Um, um, yeah, it's kinda like a benchmark. I mean, I'm actually gonna try and do this on my phone because it might be quicker to do the calculation. How much did you say you paid for the game? And
Going off all the expansions, I've also spent a lot on microtransactions. I genuinely like supporting Bungie. If there
yeah,
is something good, I will buy it in the store.
well,
Happy to
yeah.
do so. So let's say like 400 quid.
Okay, so I'm just gonna work out that doesn't make sense. You've essentially spent 8 pence an hour, which 8 pence an hour, let's say
8 pence an hour.
yeah, so let's say your average movie, what would you say, like, a movie would cost now?
Said, uh, I mean, I'd
12
like to
quid?
say 10 quid, but yeah, 12 quid is probably more realistic.
Let's just for argument's sake, let's just put 12.99. Hit it on the
12.99.
top side, why not?
Films are 2 hours average.
Okay. I
Like,
was gonna say 3, but okay.
I mean, yeah, some are longer. Some are
That's
longer.
15p, man. That's official. You've been spending better value for money, spending 400 quid on Destiny than paying
There
12.99 for a film.
you go.
There you go. You heard it here first or last.
Yeah, stop going to
Yep.
the cinema, guys. Just buy Destiny and spend all your money.
Let Bungie rise up. Let Bungie rise up, man. But no, I
Honestly,
think
um, for me at least, my dream job is actually working at Bungie.
I would not be
Um,
surprised, man.
that honestly, getting to ideally, I would want to work in the narrative team. I'm a big creative person. I always think about stories, right, and that kind of getting to work on a universe that I love, a game that I love, in a studio like that would be my absolute. So yes, maybe one day.
Yeah. I know. I definitely think it's potential, right? I mean, the whole reason. I mean, you're not going to find anybody at Bungie who doesn't want to be there. You're not going to find anybody in any of these big games companies or film industry, whatever it's going to be. Like the Mandalorian. There's a behind the scenes on Disney Plus,
Oh really?
and that you meet all the directors, and they talk about their past, and like obviously because Star Wars as a franchise is old now, easily. Easily, I can say that without getting hate. But a lot of the directors were kids at the time when Star Wars first came out. One of them was sat at, like, a dinner table asleep because they were, like, 4 or 5 years old, and now they've grown up with Star Wars, they all love it. They've all kind of gone about following their dreams of directing and kind of creating entertainment, film, movie, TV, whatever it is, and now they're, I guess, backpacking all of their passion from childhood memories and what they've grown up with their whole life, with the people they've looked up to the majority of their life, and creating something they love. And that's one of the reasons I think Mandalorian's so good. I also think it's one of the reasons why a studio like Bungie, when they make Halo or when they make, Destiny, their team is in love with that game.
So true. So true. I watched I don't know if you've been watching the IGN content they've been putting out, which is like developers react stuff. But
No,
it's
I've not.
really, really good, dude. I recommend. It's probably the best stuff that IGN has ever done. But they had a original Bungie developers react to a Halo Combat Evolved speedrun, and it was so cool seeing the things they talk about and how much love they still have for the game. Like,
Yeah.
20 years after its release is just mind blowing. And yeah, I always got the sense that Bungie employees genuinely at heart and soul, and I feel the love from Halo 1, 2, 3, Reach, and
Mm.
Destiny, and I've never doubted for a second that I genuinely care about it. It's really nice.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's something that it kind of that's what makes or breaks a game, are the people behind it and their kind of passion for that thing. I mean, I can't remember exactly all the details about it, but you remember Dead Space?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I was watching. I think he was like the actual director of Dead Space, like the creator, and he was talking about all the crazy stuff they thought of and everything they kind of were innovating and kind of going away and coming back and learning about things and constantly adding to what this guy kind of dreamed this game would be to make it work. And it's insane, dude. Like obviously that game, when did Dead Space come out? I think he was talking about the original. He wasn't talking about Dead Space 2.
I can't
So
remember. Maybe like 2010. Oh no, I think the second Dead Space came out in 2013.
2000, 2008.
Dead Space, yeah, Dead Space was 2008, and then Dead Space 2 was 2000. I gotta say though, Dead Space 2 is probably one of my actually in my top 10 games of all time. I think that
Yeah.
that game is unbelievable how good it is.
Well, it's the whole thing. It comes back to the passion that was put in, right? Like
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know. At the minute, obviously, we both have the YouTube channels going. If you're actually listening to this podcast, you're on one of our channels. So if you're new, subscribe, all that jazz. But yeah, like we're passionate about what we do, and that
yes,
means the content we create, we're gonna love. And
exactly.
by proxy, people will watch it if they're into the similar things or have like this similar kind of mindset, sense of humor, whatever it is, they're also gonna love. And hopefully our passion for what we do is gonna come out in the videos that we make. I mean, even the way we're both talking about these video games, you can probably hear in our voices
Yeah,
that, we have genuine love for these games. Now, while I love things like, Call of Duty Zombies, I haven't really been a fan of the multiplayer, maybe because I'm a loser, I suck, and there's always a kid better than me who's like half my age.
what COD
Um,
multiplayer?
what?
What COD multiplayer?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the multiplayer specifically. Like, I always enjoyed the campaigns. I bought the Call of Duties originally that were made by Treyarch because they were the only guys who did the zombies. So I
Yeah,
would
same.
I would get those games, World at War, um, and the ones that came after. Um, and then I'd play through the campaign. Once I finished the campaign, zombies, that's it. The game
Exactly
would
the
only
same.
go in the console when I played zombies after that point. and I really enjoyed that game, but I wasn't a massive fan of the multiplayer. And I don't know. I don't know if that's stemming to me today. I think maybe my gaming taste has changed, but I really want to get my hands on every single Call of Duty zombie game because
Same.
I want to do a. Someone's going to steal this idea from me. It's probably already been done actually.
What is it?
Um, I was going to do like a round or like a game of Rocket League. Fucking hell. Looked at my TV, saw Rocket League. Um, I'm gonna look away. I'm gonna look at the wall. Yeah, I wanted to do like a round of or like a game of Call of Duty Zombies, starting from World at War all the way to the most
Every
recent,
single one.
every single one, like back to back,
That'll be
and see how
incredible.
long and like which one's the best. Because that's something I always loved. Like which one was it? Trying to remember which.
Tell me anything. I know I am
Um,
encyclopedic about zombies. Tell me.
I'm gonna pronounce the name wrong, but the one with the castle with the dragons.
Oh, Eisendrach.
There you go. So I was gonna try and do the accent, but I wouldn't have I wouldn't have succeeded, so I'll let you do it.
I might have got it. I might have got it wrong. Maybe it's the Eisendrache, something like that.
Maybe I've heard it both. I've heard it both. So there we go.
Yeah.
I'm staying out of it. But yeah, that was one of my favorite ones because I could almost do the Easter egg solo.
I did do the Easter egg solo, actually. That was tough. That
Yeah.
was
The bit I failed was when you had to guide the ghostly like shadow thing around the map and stay in the circles with a different kind of bow.
honestly the boss fight. Like I think actually the I have two standard PS4 controllers with me right now, and one of them still has a dent in the handle because when I threw the controller when I failed the boss fight. um, that boss fight, fucking like, have you seen the boss fight?
Yeah, I've seen. I used to like I would watch like the Easter egg like how-to videos and
Yeah,
like watch them all, study them, like understand how the boss would work, etc. So I could do that when I got there, but I didn't. Yeah, like even for those games, they released the DLCs where you could do the different maps.
yeah,
Like I
yeah, yeah.
went through and I invested in those because I'd watch people play them and have loads of fun, and I'd be like, oh, cool, this map, this area of the map would be really good for training. So I used to just go in and do that and see how high of a round number I could get to. Like I just genuinely really enjoyed those games. And I guess that kind of DLCs because they always did quite a good kind of spacing of the different maps. You
I
it
can't.
was
I think maybe there's literally two maps that I hated. There's literally only two zombies maps that I hated. Aside from the fact that I never played Infinite Warfare Zombies, so I can't comment on that. But the only two maps I ever hated were Shangri La in Black Ops
mm,
1 and Die Rise in Black Ops 2. I did not like either of those maps at all. But other than that, loved everything.
yeah, the one that I think I didn't really like at first, but then I grew to love was the Exo Zombies from Advanced Warfare.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that as well.
Burger Town was pretty fun. I hated that map at first, but then after playing it for a little bit and kind of getting a bit of like strategy with my brother, obviously on that split screen hype,
Oh
um,
man.
we would smash out Burger Town. And yeah, like it's really entertaining, like kind of looking back and realizing that now we have the different seasons and games, and Fall Guys I think is in season 2. Rocket League's just kind of restarted the year again. Um, so we're kind of on a new rotation in terms of seasons, but every couple of months there's always something new to a game, whether it just be kind of cosmetic items and things like that. And I think the bigger content. I don't know if it's going away. I don't want it to go away because with games like Destiny as well, I think they're probably going to have to bring out a Destiny 3 or something, right, for the next gen.
Well, actually no. Because obviously I'm not sure if you're aware, but originally when they signed up with Activision, right, they signed up a actual number of games. So they were contractually obligated to release a new title every so often.
Yeah.
And even Destiny 2, they never
Mhm.
actually wanted, as far as I understand, to make Destiny. I think it
Yeah, they
worked out in the long run. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
yeah, I was just gonna say, I think they planned on just releasing Destiny 1 and then doing the updates for it more in line with what you would see for, like, most mainstream MMOs,
Yeah,
that are out there. Like, it would just be one title, but they flood it with content over time,
yeah,
and that
exactly.
would be it. But my question for that is, and I guess the game's been designed for the current gen to maximize, efficiency, graphics, all this kind of stuff. But when you put it on the newer consoles, you have all this free space to play with. But they
Ah,
can't make a completely different game for the newer gen consoles because that'd mess up the old gen or the current gen rather.
well, what they are doing is they're giving out next gen console improvement free. So that means like 120 FPS, 60 FPS,
Mm.
FOV sliders. Insanely excited to actually be able to play Destiny in higher than 30 FPS for the first time in
I
6 years, by the way.
I would be super excited just for the field of view. As soon as I
Yeah,
see field of view on the options, I'm like, this is a good game.
yeah, dude, it's so like because I actually play on my laptop sometimes. It's funny. You know the dungeons in the game.
Yeah.
I I soloed two of them on console, and the last one I actually did on PC, despite the fact that I barely ever play on PC. I don't know, it felt easier. But regardless, it's like the FOV difference between PC and console is outrageous. So claustrophobic play console, and it's like you
Mm.
don't even realize. Um, but other than those improvements, which are coming out for free for everyone, I think at the end of this month or the end of next month, they've committed to DLCs. They've committed to um, Witch Queen, which
That
is 2021's DLC, and they have committed to Lightfall, is 2022's
ooh.
DLC.
Is that
So
when everyone gets nerfed back to 0?
yeah, everyone basically has
It's
all
like
their powers taken away, and the game
it's
becomes
like it's
dead.
yeah, it's like everyone just has the basic guns. Like all you have is a primary,
Yeah, that's it. Like
and that's it.
no abilities, nothing. They're just gone.
What would be really cool, actually, I just had an actually really interesting thought. Is it Halo Reach, where at the very end, the last mission is basically you just survive as long as you can?
Yes, it is.
That would be amazing for Destiny if they had literally just like a survival mode. What?
Honestly, like there's a couple of missions um where it's like you against everything, and it's so difficult just because of the amount of enemies and the different types of enemies that you have. It would be really, really difficult for Bungie to create an endless survival mode because it gets to the point where you put 5 ogres in a room, they're gonna kill you pretty much no matter what you do.
Yeah,
Um,
but like, as in, like, think about it. Yeah, you could just say, okay, the difficulty gets harder and harder and harder. But you could perhaps do something similar to, I guess, loads of other games where you have like a difficulty scale. So you could say, as you do already have for things like the Nightfall, you have like the harder difficulty for the higher light levels. You could always potentially you could do something like that. And I was thinking, it'd be cool. You could have like a thing that's like defend the tower, and you could hop in with your fire team,
I'll be honest.
and it's just you guys in the tower. That's it. And then you basically just have to fight as long as you can in and around the tower against, it'll start off real easy, couple of grunts, getting dropped off, and then, just start to get a little bit harder. But obviously, it wouldn't go too crazy unless you were on the really high difficulties. But at that point, it would essentially be like you start off on round 20, for example. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I think I do think it's good, but I thought so many times about this. I've always wanted them to add like an endless survival type mode. I think the difficulty is making it fun enough to be replayable and
mm,
making it challenging enough without making it feel unfair. Because for it to be fun, right, you want to put lots of trash tier mobs in. So you want to put like dregs, thrall, acolytes,
yeah,
these things that you can one shot, and you just want to have loads of them at you. Like that's fun. But as soon as you start to scale it up, it's like four thrall, right? Is not a threat. Like you can deal with that no matter what. But you add in a captain, like a major captain, one with a yellow health bar, and immediately that becomes a big deal. But not only that, one captain and four thrall is still manageable, on a lower difficulty. But as soon as there's
mm,
a power differential, that becomes like insanely tough. So
yeah,
the balancing required to make something endlessly scaling upwards the challenge, but also fair and fun. I think it's just really hard, at least in my opinion. And I think it could be done. I would like to see something, where you start off with, 20 thrall running at you and end up with, 10 knights, 5 ogres, 50 thrall, and fucking 20 acolytes running at you. Like that would be cool.
and you just have like unlimited rocket launcher ammo. That would be fun. That would definitely be
I-
something to play more
I'd play
than
that.
once.
I'd play that. I'd definitely play that. That would be awesome.
Dude, let's find a Destiny modder.
Trying to Destiny mod and see if I can add it on.
Yeah, even if it's the Destiny 1 that he's modding, let's do it. Let's
Oh
get
man,
Galahorn back.
no, I downloaded Destiny 1 maybe like a year and a half ago just to have a look at my old characters and stuff. And it was nostalgic as fuck. It was also insanely clunky. The engine felt like absolute shit,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was nostalgic. It was cool.
Yeah, no, I imagine that's very similar for, like, every game, though. Like, I remember the memories I have of, like, Lord of the Rings: Return of the King,
Yeah.
old FIFA games, even games like newer games than that, but like For Honor. Like, I imagine that game is still really fun. I've actually got it downloaded at the moment to kind of half get back into, but I imagine, like I mean, it could be different because it's a very unique game, but in terms of the combat, I imagine it's clunky as hell. Maybe even like Shadow of Mordor compared to Shadow of War is a completely different game. Just mechanically, I remember just how much smoother Shadow of War was when I first picked it up, especially in terms of the fluidity of the combat. And when you parry somebody, even if you're like mid swing, it just connects so much nicer than the original game. Don't know if that was just like a funding thing. I mean, it's created by the same studio, so I imagine not, but maybe it's just a tech thing. Um, but yeah, always interesting. Always interesting thinking about that, and kind of being all nostalgic while also thinking of the future. Um, but yeah, I guess just in general, I think Black Friday is going to be a very busy week for gaming, especially
That's
for me.
true. I know what I'm good good segue into my game that I'm kind of excited for right now.
Oh, go on.
I am very
Groot.
excited to play Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah, I've seen
Thoughts?
some things come up, but I've not. I'm avoiding spoilers right now. Not doing anything to it. Not looking at trailers. Nothing.
So have you played Odyssey or Origins?
No, I've not played a thing, man.
Well, what was the
Not played
last
a thing.
Assassin's Creed game you played?
Um, can't really remember. There was essentially I kind of stopped playing at Unity when Unity launched, and it had so
Buggiest
many
game ever.
bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, I just didn't buy that game at launch, and then because I know Assassin's Creed, like, they kind of linked them all, and I didn't really wanna miss the game but equally, I was just so disheartened by the bugs, man. I remember we bought Assassin's Creed 1 and Assassin's Creed 2 at the same time, and we purposefully didn't touch Assassin's Creed 2 until we'd finished 1, even though the games aren't really related.
Yeah, honestly, the I think what's important is not like not buying Assassin's Creed because you feel like you've missed the story, because the storyline that's going on in the background, in like current
Mm,
day with the animus and everything. Maybe some people will give me shit for this, but I personally I find it incredibly hard to actually give a shit. Um,
mm,
I kind of wish it wasn't even in the game, because whenever those sections come up, it just feels like a massive chore that I go through as fast as fucking possible to get back into the open world. Um, but it doesn't matter that much. You can go back into one of these games and you can enjoy the story while still understanding like how it plays into the other games. Um, Unity is great now, by the way. Um,
yeah,
they fixed basically all the bugs, and without all the
basically.
mess that it was at launch, is actually one of the best Assassin's Creeds. It's actually amazing.
Really.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's incredible.
I mean, I liked a lot of the stuff they brought in for it. I really I liked the allure, but it was, it's kinda like it left a bad taste in my mouth when I was, hearing about the game, hearing about all those sort of small issues with it, and then when it came down to spending money on it, I was like, "You know what? Maybe I'll just give this one a pass."
Yeah,
And then what was it after that? It was Syndicate, that's based in London.
meh.
Um,
That's a meh one for me.
yeah, that's also what I heard, like, it was just, eh, it wasn't the best. I didn't really hear much about it. Wasn't really invested at that point because 'cause I'd missed out on Unity, and then after that, I'd missed out on 2 games, so I'm just and I just fell out of the series, like, entirely. Um, but Assassin's Creed 2 was the first game I got 100% of the achievements in.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed 2 was fucking awesome. I did
so good.
also 100% it, but that game was that game was so ahead of its time.
Mm, for
So
sure.
ahead of its time. Like, I don't even know. Going into that game, just thinking about it, the music was story,
The
the
the the
passion.
graphics for the time,
Mm.
were amazing as well. But the funny thing is, like, you go back to it now, and it's like, "Wow, these graphics are a bit terrible."
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, at the time, you're like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god, this is incredible,"
Yeah, I
you
remember
know? And
thinking
then
so.
and then you come back, and it's like, "Oh, okay, maybe not." Like, even with films, everything the way tech moves forward in general,
Yeah.
and I definitely think, Cyber Monday, Black Friday, there are times when I'm looking to upgrade what I currently have. Like, obviously, I'm aware that if you didn't know, you probably knew because I probably told you, like, 3 times already. There's on the 1st of December, do you know what's happening?
No, what's up with it?
They're releasing 4K Lord of the Rings extended edition,
Oh, I mean, if I
at
had a 4K TV, then I would
Black Friday, Cyber
Friday.
Monday. It's like the thing, and it's actually a reason why I'm looking at getting the disk drive version of the PlayStation instead of the digital edition,
Yeah. Okay, interesting.
just purely because of that reason. And if there are ever any films that I end up having on disc for whatever reason, I mean, Lord of the Rings would just be fantastic to have because it's a series that I've loved since I was a kid, and it's definitely still one of my favorite films, if not the favorite film franchise I have. And I guess having that is kind of like it's not like a collector's edition, but it kind of is for me.
Mm,
Do you know what I mean? Like it holds a place in my heart that
yeah.
it's basically choosing which version of the PlayStation 5 I get just because of that one film, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
What
yeah.
else? What else are you gonna look to pick up on Black Friday?
Well,
I've
I've
only got
been
a small list.
Yeah, my list consists of two things right now of things that I might get, but probably not.
Yeah.
Is literally a 4K TV and a PlayStation 5. That's it.
See,
That's it.
I thought about trying to get a PS, during Black Friday, but it's just that's what everyone is gonna be going for. It's gonna be
Yeah,
so fucking hard, dude. And already resellers have basically taken the PS5 out of stock fucking everywhere. Some of these
yeah.
cunts are selling it for like fucking 2 grand. So fucking scummy.
Mm.
Um, so I think I'm probably gonna pick up a couple games and maybe a control.
Do you think like I know people who live in like Canada and stuff. Do you think I could maybe send them the money? They could buy the PlayStation 5 and then ship it to me?
I'm sure there are services like that. You're probably gonna end up paying like 100 on top of it
No, 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 no. But not like a service. Like
a
I
person.
legit know a couple people in like Canada.
I
I was just
mean,
thinking, like I haven't
yeah.
spoken to them in a while. Like it'd be a bit weird. It's like, hey, can I send you money for you to buy me a PlayStation 5? And they'll be like, who are you? And I'll be like, you know, no worries. But yeah, no, it's like I just had that thought. Then I was just like, yeah, I looked the other day. I literally checked everywhere, and there's just nothing,
Yep.
nothing. Like you see it on eBay, but that's it. Like who wants that?
You'll see
Um,
resellers and fucking scammers.
it'll just be like a PlayStation 4, but with like bits of bent cardboard on the sides. That'll be it. But yeah, as much as I want that, it's gonna have to see what's out on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Besides that, I don't really know. I've got a new mic, so I don't know if I sound a little bit different today. Um,
Yeah, it sounds a bit cleaner. Definitely sounds.
yeah, yeah, no, it's another USB mic. I think it does sound like a lot better than my last one. Like maybe it's just a new thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bit biased myself, but I quite like it. It cuts down the sound a little bit more. Um, but yeah, I would have bought this on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, but it's something I kind of needed. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do that. Other than that, I don't really know what I'm gonna look at, what I'm gonna get. Um, but yeah, I'm thinking about tech, but I have no idea.
Yeah, I might see. I wonder if there's like external RAM that you can get. If there's something like that,
Oh yeah,
it's kind of a weird one. But if there's something like that, I might pick that up as well.
well you
Um,
can speed boost with the USB drives.
oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. For a hot tip for anybody listening. So on newer USB drives, if you essentially just plug it into your computer, um, Hector, you might actually be able to verify this now if you have a USB drive handy. But you can essentially, when
I'll
you plug
grab
it
one.
in, yeah, sure, do it. When you plug it in, you can essentially right click on the drive when you load it up. Let me actually show you, everyone. If you're listening to the podcast, look at your screen
Right
in
now.
in the very in the very near future. I don't know if I have any weird stuff on this computer that you're going to see, but who gives a
I'm
crap?
gonna go get my USB stick.
Oh, look at all my files. Yeah, if you're on this PC, you will obviously see you'll have your Windows C drive or whatever it is, maybe a Mac, maybe whatever. You will also have the USB drive here. Essentially, what you can do, you can right click on it, and you can find like properties on the USB drive, and you can hit like there's like a speed boost option.
Okay, I'm back.
You're back. Okay.
Here we go.
Um, I cannot see your screen. Are you on Discord on your phone or
No, I am on my laptop. I've just plugged my USB stick in.
oh, dude,
See what happens.
share your screen with me,
Screen.
please do. There's gonna be time to edit out the podcast. No, I'm
Yes,
just joking.
definitely.
Yeah,
Right.
lovely. So where is your click on your documents thing. Yeah. Which one's the C drive? Which one's the USB? Click on it. Go on properties.
Ready boost. No way! What is this? What
Look, yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
this?
yeah, yeah. Look, and you can hit like use this device.
What's this? Dedicate space
Yeah,
reserve.
so you can basically choose from dedicate this device. So basically anything that's on there will be gone, but it will be used entirely as RAM, or it's used this device. Now, obviously, the faster the connection between the USB drive and the computer, um, the better the thing will be. Obviously, smaller USB drives can only have a certain amount of RAM that they can offer because it depends on like speed and obviously the size of the drive.
That's mad. That's mad.
Now, the one thing I haven't tested is if you can do it with like a terabyte hard drive.
Interesting. I mean,
Because that,
at that point, but that's overkill, right? You don't need that much RAM.
yeah, of course not. But like what I'm saying is like if you had that, you could use part of that device as Ready Boost, and the other half can be memory. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
So it
no,
can be used as storage and also speed boost.
I'm literally gonna try this out right on.
Do it, do it.
I will tell you how it actually works. And that's so interesting.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll come back to the podcast bit now after our little IT session. Yeah, I was just explaining to Hector about the Ready Boost and how we can find it on USB drives. Um, yeah, you guys, if you want a little bit of extra firepower in your PCs, laptops, whatever it is, just look that up. Look that up. I basically just Google searched it,
Very
and
useful. Yeah.
yeah, I found it. It's pretty good. So yeah, maybe consider picking up a decent size USB on on Black Friday or Cyber Monday. Um, but yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah. I've already got a terabyte hard drive that I have for stuff on. Apparently, you plug that into PS5 and carry on playing. I'm good. I
that that
think.
that'd be interesting. I mean, I only use um like hard drives for storing of data.
Mm.
Like I don't use them for anything specifically. Generally, it will be essentially the way I work is I will edit videos until my laptop is full, and then I basically just migrate a bunch of it onto the drive and
Yeah.
basically start off fresh on my laptop. That's basically how I work. Because I'm not gonna keep that thing on all the time around my laptop. It's just too much like random gubbins on my desk. So yeah, I keep to it being pretty simple. I don't have like 4 drives like some absolute wreckhead over on your screen. I can still see your screen.
Yeah, I
But
definitely
yeah.
haven't partitioned everything like a fucking maniac. No, definitely not. No idea what you're.
Uh, but yeah, man, I'm excited for what the holiday period I think will bring.
Mm,
It's a little
hopefully.
sad that, like I said, I kind of miss those story games. I feel like this should. I mean, there's a couple of things coming out. I think it's maybe because we're hopping over to next gen, and in the UK we're lagging behind significantly
Yeah.
with with the next gen console. So maybe it's a little bit of teething problems on that side. I think I'm gonna carry on playing a bit of Rocket League, um, maybe some Dauntless, maybe a bit of For Honor, and
Honestly, I might even pick up Valhalla. Really want to scratch that story itch. And by the way, 100% recommend that you play Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It is top 3 games.
yeah, I heard they changed the combat so much though.
Changed everything.
But
It's
yeah, exactly. So I'm not really convinced by that.
it's better. It's old Assassin's Creed games. The combat is basically wait for your enemy to attack you and press square to counter, insta kill, chain it to the next person. Da, 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 da. Odyssey is an actual combat system. Not such a fan of Origins. It feels really clunky, but Odyssey feels so good. It's like an actual RPG slasher
Mm,
combat system that genuinely takes skill. There's no, like insta kill stuff. Like you have to actually build like a loadout. Like you can build your weapons to crit. You can build your weapons for your damage. You can build weapons for fire damage or poison damage. But it's like
yeah,
you have to spend the combat using ability and dodging. It's seriously, I 100% recommend. The new generation of Assassin's Creed games are 10 times better than the old generation.
interesting. No, I've already loaded that up so I can look a little bit around what it is. I don't know if it's gonna be on, like, a big sale or something. Hopefully, it will be. I don't know. I mean, the game, just for the base game, it's 55 quid still.
The game
Like,
is huge. Like that's like 60 hours playtime just base game.
mm,
Probably
mm.
get to explore basically the whole of ancient Greece. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. I think some people gave it some shit, but I think that it's one of the best games that I've ever played. I think it's criminal that get praise.
Yeah, I think people were just kind of caught off guard by the whole change up of the system.
Yeah, I
That's
think
what I
so.
think. It is kinda like what the difference between, like, Star Wars, the original trilogy, the prequels, and then the sequel trilogy. Like, because Disney completely changed Star Wars,
Mm,
the people who were already fans of it, like, didn't like it. It's like, if we were to do the YouTube, like, the same way we are doing now, but then in, 2 years' time, after we have, like, a few thousand subscribers,
yeah.
we turn around and start doing classical music tutorials, like, we're we're like we're gonna lose subs so fast.
I mean, I don't know.
What, you wanna try that?
No, I'm not. I
Whack
mean,
out your violin.
I could. I might actually. So if you
I
see a video like that from me, I will say I told you so.
I dare you. I with your beard as well, you have to put on, like, tiny round glasses
Yeah, I'm gonna
and
fucking
have
do it. I'm gonna fucking
yeah,
watch me.
do it. I dare you. Do, like, an Abraham Lincoln impression.
um, but at least for me, I felt like the old Assassin's Creed games were getting insanely repetitive and very stale. If they
Mm,
didn't change it in Origins the first game they changed it, but I feel like Odyssey is the game where it kind of properly developed into its own thing. If they didn't change it, they'd be fucked. No,
yeah.
no one would be buying it. It was a necessary
Well,
scalpel
I
to the
think
series.
yeah, I think they already had in mind of changing it, though. I remember the jump from was it 2, then Brotherhood, then 3? That's the way it went. I seem to remember that
Mm,
3 was actually number 4.
no, it's two Brotherhood Revelations and three, actually.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense, yeah, yeah, makes way more sense to have, Assassin's Creed 3 be the 5th game you make of the same name, like, absolutely spot on. Um, but yeah, like, when you had Brotherhood, you had, like, your assassins you could send out on different missions. Like, I really enjoyed that mechanic, and I enjoyed the idea of being able to call on, like, your assassin apprentices to come and help you in a fight. Like, that immediately made me like Brotherhood slightly more than Assassin's Creed 2, but then, because there was way less traveling in Brotherhood, I didn't really like it as much as in 2.
But exactly, I think the point is that the changes that were made to those games were small.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
and Brotherhood and Revelations are, although Revelations has a really cool setting, it's very much kind of, similar cities, tight spaces, lots of rooftops,
Mm.
that kind of thing. So I just, they did three games based off the success of Assassin's Creed 2, or they did
Yeah.
two extra games based on it. And I feel like it slowed the series down a lot. 3 was good. Setting change was awesome. Have you played 3?
Yeah. I played basically I played every game. up until Unity.
up until Unity. Okay, yeah. Me personally, I love 3. A lot of people don't like it, but it's got
That's the one with Connor, right?
yeah, he's probably one of my
Yeah.
favorite assassins. Outfit is fantastic.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I loved the environments. Like getting to rerun through nature was just so
I I
awesome.
think the biggest thing about Assassin's Creed 3 was bringing it more towards our timeline. Like Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed 1, Brotherhood, Revelations, they were all so far in the past that you couldn't really relate to it as much.
Mm.
But then when you see 3 and that's way more recent history than any of the other games. So I
Yeah,
think that and probably a little bit of a kick from slightly updated tech, a new character, like having the bow.
yeah, that bow
I
is so cool.
Yeah, and even just small mechanics, like you could skin animals, and if you didn't and you just killed them, then you would desynchronize. Like it was a little bit more based in, I'm not gonna say reality, because the whole game is based on you have memories of your ancestors in your DNA, and you sit in a machine to access them.
Yeah, we don't
Um,
go into VR,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
guys. Bill.
Not yet. Wait until the Oculus Quest 3 comes out.
The Oculus Corporation dominates mankind, and yeah, does that.
Until some random guy with a hero's name like Desmond Miles, who just seems to be a bartender, but no, he's got ancestors that are assassins. It's like
And
that.
his their powers are transferred to him because he can remember what ancestors did thousands ago.
All he does is sit on a sunbed without sunbed glasses.
I mean, dude, that guy's muscles would have atrophied so fucking hard. All he sit in the Animus all day and nothing else.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
in
exactly.
one of the games, he just gets up and then he just starts killing people like he's an assassin. Guy's done no exercise for months. Come on.
Dude, that'd be hilarious if someone did like a parody of that, like because when he's not in the Animus, he's just sat there eating like 3 meals a day,
Yeah,
maybe just eating some sweets, watching the news, whatever. And then like you see like a Homer Simpson style character just hop off the thing, just like murdering. That would
yeah.
be jokes. That'd be so funny. I would actually watch that
I would
way
love
more.
to.
I would pay more money for that than I would pay money for the actual Assassin's Creed movie.
Yeah, apparently that thing was a piece of shit.
I watched a little bit and stopped.
Stopped. It
Like,
was that bad.
well, I don't want to say it's bad, but it's like you have like it's the classic kind of sickness and effect when you have a like a video game movie. It's just not the same as the video game, and it loses that engagement, that like fun factor about it, and it just didn't. It didn't really live up to the hype. Like I think the casting looked great. I think the stuff they did in the past was good. I mean, it was a bit too much CGI for my liking, but the action seemed okay. But it just didn't pull together as a film. It just didn't really capture that X factor that is Assassin's Creed. You know what I mean? And I think it's a big problem.
Well, some things just don't translate well into film, right?
Yeah.
You know, some games just aren't. Some games are designed so well for the medium of video games and
Mm,
storytelling through that that it's easy to forget that you can't just translate that into something like a film. Like for example, let's take Bioshock, right?
mm.
Have you played Bioshock?
I played a tiny bit of one of the games. Can't remember which one it was. It was years ago. But yeah.
I will give you my Bioshock series collector's edition because you need to play all of them. Yeah, give that to you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Um, but amazing, amazing, amazing games.
Mm.
That's probably my second favorite game ever. Um, it is just absolutely spectacular how good the story is and the gameplay on it. And although could arguably adapt it into a film, it just involves too much fucking killing. Too many people get killed, shot, bludgeoned, burned, electrocuted, and fucking shot to have it translate well into a film. And there's no way that you can kind of translate the journey that the character goes through to reach the end of it without making it some kind of horror film where he has to hide from the entire city as he goes through. And then you have different questions about how do you encounter other things if the character is now hiding from everything all the time.
Mm.
It creates so many different problems when you're trying to make a film that isn't just kill lots of things, because that becomes fun when you're the one in control of it, and that's the gameplay that you're experiencing. But when it's the film and you're just watching someone murder hundreds of people, it gets pretty boring.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, let's think about other things as well. So,
Mm,
one of my other really favorite films is John Wick.
okay.
Now, have you seen John Wick? Please say yes.
No, yeah, of course I have. Come on.
I was going to say friendship over, but no, you're good. Um, but I think put it this way: if you think about everything they do action-wise in John Wick, all the different kind of mechanics, martial arts, and the martial arts they invented for John Wick, like if you tried to translate that into game controls, it wouldn't work. But that game is essentially well, first of all, it's well acted, it's well shot, like it's well paced, but essentially, it's a guy running around killing people.
Yes.
But that's essentially what people do in games every day when they're playing Call of Duty, when they're playing through the story of, the new game Cold War. Like, the thing that makes it a good movie is that it gives you experiences that you can't have in video games, and it makes it
Yeah.
exciting. When a film tries to copy a video game and it doesn't add to that aspect of what it is, it just doesn't go down well because 'cause you're not controlling the action. You're sat it's like, what's more fun, sitting and watching your friend play a game or playing the game?
Yeah, obviously it's playing the game. Yeah, no,
Exactly.
you're right. It's hard translating that into something that makes for compelling watching, because you do have to add on top of it rather than letting it speak for itself.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think maybe it comes down to a lack of, like, creators or maybe film studios or PR, perhaps, just some form of mix-up in the filmmaking system that basically says, "Look, video game films haven't worked well in the past. Let's not put too much money into it because it's probably gonna flop." When in reality, what they need to do is similar to what they did with The Mandalorian, they need to get people who love the source material
Mm,
and are also experts in their right. And then they need to pull that together with a reasonable amount of funding and obviously everything that they need to make that video game experience and enjoyment translate to the big screen. That's what's missing, I think. Because think
yeah,
about it. You have, you know, um, Call of Duty World at War. I think you
amazing
do
game.
you yeah, you do this. You storm the beach
Wait,
in
hold on.
Call of Duty World War II. You storm the beach as well.
I don't think you still on beach in
Do you not? I'm pretty sure you do.
level.
I'm pretty sure it's like the first level.
No, you're on an island. You're on a Japanese island, Pacific, but you don't storm. You don't
Maybe
actually
it's a
storm.
different mission.
I'm pretty confident you're thinking about the one in World War Two.
Maybe, maybe.
But there's
I only played the
beach
World War II
missions.
recently.
Beach
But yeah,
missions.
like
You get it.
yeah, but like think about it, like Saving Private Ryan or like the Call of Duty games. Both are thrilling to play through and watch someone else do. Like obviously they're still doing essentially the same thing, but obviously the film has got a good amount of funding, good acting, good effects, good direction, but then I feel like video games, like, if the video game comes first before the film, people view it like it's gonna flop, and then it's kinda like a self-fulfilling prophecy in that sense.
Yeah, I kind of see that. Honestly, when they announced the Assassin's Creed film, I was like, "Well, this is just isn't go well."
I was excited for it because I had hopes, mainly because of Michael Fassbender.
Fantastic
Because
actor, fantastic.
yeah, because I thought decent actor, well known, had a good run of movies, and this should turn out well. Yep, ate my words.
I think it's a lot as well. A lot of the things that happen is that people go people who are fans of the game will go to see the film because they want to see certain elements of the game realized
Yeah,
into film, right?
yeah,
And the director and the producer, they're never going to have the exact same idea of this is the part that has to be in the film because it's just so cool. And then, they don't see the part that they were hoping for. It doesn't quite come across in cinema. And now they're fucking pissed. And then actual film critics look at the movie like, okay, they're trying a bit too hard to get this stuff in here that doesn't really work when they're obviously trying to pay homage to the actual video games themselves, and then the film fails because it's trying to appeal to people who like films. It's trying to appeal to people who like the games. Just trying
yeah,
to do too much.
yeah, and I think that's where the line comes in when you have to have those people that are really passionate about the game, maybe they grew up playing it, but then also are the experts in filmmaking. I think that's where the crossover comes in.
Yes, I would very much agree.
But yeah, so when are we gonna see the Lord of the Rings: Return of the King film? Because I love that game.
Maybe we should do
Uh,
like a watch along. Seen it so many. Uh, we should
I
do
I have.
when Lord of the Rings comes out on Prime. Should definitely do watch alongs for those.
That would be sick. I would
That
love that.
that would be great.
That would actually be incredible, and I'm genuinely really excited for that series. I'm not sure if I have trust in Amazon Prime and
I
their
do.
series creation. I mean, I haven't watched Amazon Prime, that's the thing. I haven't experienced what they have going on over there. Like, I've experienced Netflix, partial trust, like, some of the stuff they make is good, some of the stuff they make is really good, some of the stuff I just don't wanna touch because it just seems like meh, cliché. Um, I'm
I'll
hoping
throw you my account if you
hashtag leave this out of the podcast.
want.
Just
No,
just you wanna tell me your email and password over this over the podcast?
yeah, I'll send it to you. But
Okay.
I have watched The Boys. The Boys is fucking great. You must have heard of
Mm.
it, right?
Yeah, 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 I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's really good.
The boys.
It's,
The boys. The boys.
it's
Jeez, man.
it's worth watching.
Yeah, no.
You'll like it. You like fucking all that dark shit, and it's
Oh, yeah,
very
absolutely.
I mean, it's fine. Honestly, with the way the world is right now, I could see that being exactly how superpowers are now. I'll just that.
Okay, interesting. Um, but yeah. No, I'll definitely have a little watch of it. I was just trying to think of, I literally had a thought of something that I was gonna say and then just completely forgot.
Wait, everyone be silent. Think.
Hey, I can hear you. Be quiet. No, I can't remember.
Okay, fuck it.
Yeah, no,
At this point, it
can't
doesn't.
remember.
At this
It's
point,
gone.
it doesn't even matter. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, nah, it's gone. It's officially gone.
Might get Cold War, by the way. Zombies looks really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen the zombies in that, to be honest, because there's a part of me that thinks, you know what, I don't want to spend £50 just to play zombies when I already have games where I can play zombies.
I really wish they would start fucking releasing this, like the different modes separately. Like, I just want to play zombies. I don't give a fuck about the multiplayer or the campaign. I just want to play fucking zombies.
But how much money do you think each department will lose out on? Because there's gonna be a big split there, right?
Yeah,
Like
I mean they will lose money for that. I can't see a lot of it. Let's be real. If they wanted to, they could take the hit. They could take the hit
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
fucking easily, and it wouldn't even really make that big of a difference. Plus, they could probably charge more for each individual section, so that to total it comes to more. So they could probably
Mm,
charge like 30 quid each section, that the people who end up buying all three end up spending more on the game anyway. You know?
maybe, but I just don't think that's something they'd be willing to do. I mean, think about years ago. I'm gonna take you back in time, Hector. When you used to ask when when you were younger and you were asking for a video game for your birthday or for Christmas,
Hmm?
how many did you get the wrong game on one occasion or like slightly the wrong thing?
The only time anything close to that has happened is when my family and Sarah's family got me the same game by accident.
Well, that's not too bad. But
Yes,
I
but I was always really clear because I knew if someone got me the wrong game, I'd be like, "Oh, this is so irritating." So I was always ridiculously specific with what I wanted.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's happened to me before. Not
Oh,
gonna
I'm
lie.
so sorry. I'm so sorry, dude.
No, no, no. It was still good because I experienced a game that I wasn't expecting. Bless your bless your hiccup over there. That's it's not my editor. She's not the graphic designer either. I do
Yeah, what do you do around
um,
here?
she makes me dinner. I
That's
I do the washing up, man. It it's a two-way street. I do the washing up. That's how it works. Um, but yeah, no, it happened to me before, but the end result was that I found a new game franchise
Oh, what was
um,
that?
that I quite enjoyed. It was essentially, um, I think it was from memory. I think I was looking for it's like a Rome game, like Rome Total War,
Yeah, yeah,
but then ended up getting like Medieval 2, which is a very similar game. Like it's basically the same,
yeah.
but Medieval 2 lets you play with a lot more like people. So instead of like let's say 50,000 soldiers, like Medieval 2 would like just destroy that and it'd be like, yeah, 100,000.
Oh my
Fuck
god.
it. Just steroids. It's probably not those kind of numbers, but
Yeah, I think that
essentially
might be
Medieval
literally. I get what you mean.
but yeah, so it had they both have advantages and disadvantages, but I still really enjoyed the game. Although after that, I definitely made sure that I was saying the right thing and double downing on what I said.
But I
And
don't.
now I just send links and I'm like, hey, this is what I want.
Yeah, I don't feel like you could really do that anymore. You know, I feel like back in the day, you could ask for a PC game, someone would accidentally get you the wrong thing, and it might still turn out to be a really cool game. But
Yeah.
I don't feel like you could do that today. I feel like if you're getting the wrong game, you're probably going to get something total piece of shit and a waste of time.
Um, I don't know, man. Would you be upset if you said like, oh, get me Assassin's Creed Origins and they get you Odyssey instead? Or like the other way around? I mean, you'd be
Yes,
upset if you already had the game, but
yes, I would be. I have both Origins and Odyssey anyway.
yes, I'm saying hypothetically, man. I'm not saying you're gonna ask for it now after you've already played through everything.
Yeah, I'd be pretty
But that
pissed if that happened. But
what if you asked for a game, they got it right, and
yeah,
you'd already played it?
but I already had it. Yeah, I would still be pissed off. Um, no, yeah, I don't know. I probably would. I feel like a lot of games are so distinct. Like if I've asked for something, it's because I'm really feeling that specific thing. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, for sure. But I'd hate to be that kid this Christmas who's like, "Mom, Dad, can I get a PlayStation 5 for Christmas?" And they get the PlayStation 4.
Ugh,
How
oh,
grim.
pain.
That would be pain.
No, that'd be awful, dude. I feel bad.
That would
I actually read this funny fucking post on it. Um, this guy was in queue at I don't know some American store. so many of them there. Um, and he heard these two parents in line talking about a game they were trying to get for the kids, and they were getting the game for the old Xbox,
Oh no.
and the kid obviously wants it on the new console. The guy told them, and they basically started telling him to fuck off, like it's none of his business. So those two twats have gone and got their kid a game for the wrong fucking generation of console, and that kid's present.
Probably his life as well.
Yeah, probably his life
His trust that he built up with his parents
shattered,
just gone.
destroyed.
Yeah. Probably his bedroom window as well when he fucking like threw the threw the game out the window without even opening it first. Just smash. Just gone.
You know the worst. You know the worst destruction of something I owned was. Oh man.
The controller that you told me about earlier.
No, actually, it was Destiny related again.
Oh jeez.
Actually, no, we'll do two. The one before that was Modern Warfare 2. Now that was probably one of the first games where I actually tried to play the multiplayer. And as one of the first multiplayer games, that game is insanely busted and overpowered. It's like the original game where people started realizing what overpowered really means.
Mm.
Everything was so fucking balanced in that game. But I snapped the disc. Um,
Yeah, I was gonna say you snapped the disc, didn't you?
I straight up snapped the disc for that
That that
game.
that that is the first stage in gamer rage. Well
Yeah,
done.
I'm on my path. Um, and many years later, it was the launch night for a Destiny DLC. I'm pretty sure it was Dark Below. So the first one in like December 2015, and man, it was just it was something to do with the PS4 and the network. Like it was just bugging out. It wasn't letting me load. It thought I hadn't purchased the DLC, and I got so pissed. Like I just slammed my hands down on my laptop on my lap, and like I slowly thought to myself, "Wait, hold on. That laptop screens like they're not tough." And I lift up my
Mm.
laptop screen, and it's just got this huge black crack in the middle with ink leaking everywhere. And after that, I've never done anything rough any laptop that I've owned. Ah man, it was actually the worst feeling as well because I was already so pissed off that it wasn't working, and then I broke it. And I'm like, oh, it was awful. It was the worst feeling ever.
No, dude, I'm so careful with all of my things. Like anything technology, I'm like I treat it like a baby.
And
Probably
now I
more
am.
careful. No, dude, I've seen some videos, man. Like have you seen? I'm pretty sure it's like I'm not sure if it's real, but there's this kid who he does stream. I don't know if he's big. I can't remember his name. But basically lives with his parents, and his dad is like traditional dad. Like he does not believe in streaming and video making can be a career. And
Oh
he
wait, is
literally,
this is like a series on YouTube, isn't it? Like Angry Dad Destroys
yeah.
games and
Like,
shit like that.
have you seen the one where he like collects the guy's games like in the garden, and he has like
Oh,
a ride-on lawnmower, and there's just this big pile of video games, and the kids like stood out there like trying to stand between the games and the lawnmower, and it's basically this thing's basically like a tractor with like
holy
rotating blades.
shit!
Like it's a bit messed up, man. But no, he's like screaming at his dad. His dad's like, "Go get a real job," and then he like, drives over all the games, just shreds everything. Oh, it's so entertaining.
What the? You know, I've always thought that those are fake, though. I don't think they're
Yeah, yeah,
real.
yeah. Just like Santa.
Dude, spoilers. What the fuck?
Yeah, no spoilers, but Santa kills Dumbledore. I mean Snape kills Dumbledore.
Santa kills Dumbledore. What? Dude,
Uh,
massive spoilers. You can't
dude,
reveal Santa in the Harry Potter storyline. He's like the
Harry
main bad guy.
Harry Potter crossover confirmed. It's like Santa Claus is Dumbledore.
Fucking,
That'd be pretty mad.
that would be pretty. Maybe we should do some fake gamer gets stuff destroyed by mental friend.
Or or like, and then like probably an angry girlfriend one would be pretty funny.
Yeah, that be actually.
Yeah.
I think you'll
Um,
have to do that one
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe.
though.
Maybe.
I just saw a tweet that said shoot your second at on in the leg for PS5.
Uh, Would you?
Yeah, probably.
Hey, man, I'd shoot him in both legs if it means we could both have one.
I'll shoot him in both legs if it means we can both have one.
Like, what's the thing? Is like, would you? There's like so many random things. It's like, do this to your first at if, like, for like £1,000,000. It's like, if it's not gonna kill them, obviously. It's like, I'm not an idiot. Like, if they're gonna recover from it, then yeah, I'd just split the money.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, I would, man. Like, get hit by a car for £1,000,000. Yeah, I'd make it go like 5 miles an hour, but yeah, I'd get hit by a car. Maybe I'm just crazy. I don't know.
Oh, I would probably join you.
Should need a bigger car then, really. Not too big though, because then we go under it.
Yeah, if we go under, like, then I don't think we're recovering.
Depends on what. Like, if it's a Hot Wheels car, then yeah, we definitely would.
I mean, if it's a Hot Wheels car, I don't think we're getting
Or you just change the conditions. Because I bet the moon cars barely weigh anything, so you could get run over by a car, you'd be fine. Like, for sure. The wheels would just like float over you. Probably just bounce up and go into orbit.
yeah. I am basically my head is basically in orbit permanently.
On account of how tall you are, yeah. I'm like a dwarf.
But yeah.
I'm more like under the ground with how short I am. I'm basically like minus numbers for height.
You're not even that short, dude. Like, sure, you're like, I don't know. How tall are you again? You're like 5'6".
I really hope not, because last time I measured myself, I was like taller. I'm maybe an inch or two shy of 6. Maybe.
Come on,
What do you mean? Come on.
you're not like 5'10".
Pretty sure I am. Last time I was measured for a karate competition, yeah.
You actually.
I think so. Unless I've done a stereotypical grandmother and gotten shorter.
I am in shock.
Why?
I don't know, dude. I just I was I've never thought that.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Hey, look, I mean, you're beautiful no matter what height you are, right?
You are beautiful,
Yeah, exactly.
no matter what they say. Height won't bring you down, mate.
I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of getting over my height. Um, my
Such a way of saying it. Getting over my height. In what, like a Boeing 747?
Fuck off. um, my knees and my back are like actually they're gonna break. Like they're gonna break, and I feel like an old man, and I'm only 24. You know?
I mean, that could be just linked to other things though, right? Like, I don't know, footwear, the way you sit. Like footwear, if you're walking a lot, footwear can easily do that to your knees.
Nah, it's my because I used to be like a like a professional swimmer. Because my stroke was breaststroke when I was really young.
It's my favorite kind of stroke.
You're fucking 12, dude. You're kidding me. Um, that definitely contributed to fucking up my knee. Plus, I have a knee condition on top of that.
Mm.
But please tell me more about your favorite stroke.
Um, so it's probably yeah, I'd probably agree it's breaststroke. It's my favorite stroke. I mean, a backstroke's quite nice. Um, yeah, I've never really been a big fan of doggy. What is it? Well, it's like doggy paddling, right? Or it's like more commonly known as like front. It's not front stroke, is it? Because that just sounds dirty.
I mean, doggy paddle is what you do if you're like, 2 years old and you can't really
Yeah,
swim.
unable to swim. Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds like me.
fucking.
Uh, yeah, I'm gonna have fun editing this one.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even think edit anything. I might edit out the USB stuff.
USB. Yeah. Well, I was
Fucking.
thinking that my audio's been like my audio hasn't broken up for you, right?
No, not once.
Okay, cool. Because I think in a bit, like 2/3 of the way through, your audio started to like break up a little bit. I'd
Oh
missed like
really?
half a word here and there. Yeah, it wasn't like super regular. Like I didn't miss out like whole sentences. It
Oh,
was just like a
okay.
little bit here and there. So for this one, it might be good if you could send me the audio file.
Okay. Hopefully it hasn't happened on my end. I'll have a bit of a listen through, see if I can catch them. Because that is the case, then I'm gonna start using my blue microphone, my blue Yeti. So
Yeah, no,
yeah, hopefully.
yeah. Well, I don't know. It might have just been the internet on my side. I don't know. It might have been some sort of internet thing instead of the mic thing. But yeah, I mean, you can kind of check it out and see what you think. I mean, it's you can still make sense of what you said. It's just obviously if your audio was clear, then we should use yours.
Okay, cool. I'll have a listen through. Um,
And then you've edited episode one, haven't you? And put that up.
yeah, it's uploaded now. It's on the channel.
Okay, cool. Because what I'll do, I might listen to that and see. Because if you sent it to me, I wouldn't have the separate audio tracks. So I basically need to. I'll listen to yours and see where we start off. I'll edit it the same,
Yeah.
and then do the waveform thing.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. Yes.
Nice one, man. Nice. That was like 2 hours this time.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I feel like